Hello, 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 hello. Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you're all doing so well. I hope that you're surviving. I hope that you're thriving. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And most importantly, I hope that you are having a lovely day / start to your week. If you are not having a lovely day / start to your week, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you lots of kisses and chocolates and hugs. And if you are, that's amazing. Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. Welcome back to the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I am your host, Ntwenhle, and this is the space whereby I just like to share my life's perspective as I navigate clumsily through my 20s. This is where I like to bullshit a little bit, where I like to talk, share my perspective as I learn and pick up things. I just like to come onto here and talk about it for a hot 15 to 30 minutes. And if it helps anybody, adds any value to your life, that's amazing. If not, that's great as well. Thank you for being here. Swiftly move along if you don't resonate, or just chill for the vibes at the very least, But yeah, hi. Happy spring. It's now the 5th of September. Is that that's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me that it's the 5th of September already. This year has just moved by so quickly. And also, I'm just feeling absolutely terrible because I have not set my September intentions yet, which is very problematic and very sad and scary. And yeah, I feel like last week I was just really bad at my upload schedule, and I actually wrote a blog post about it the other day. And basically, I just feel like I've been in a little bit of a creative rut. I haven't known what to talk about. I have been down in the dumps, and I feel like last week it could be largely attributed to the fact that I was on my period, and I was just feeling so down and out and sad. And I'm feeling slightly better now, and I'm just okay, cool. Let's do the things. And also, I had a nice chat with one of my friends today from work, and we were just talking about how, I don't know, we just feeling so when it comes to work. And it's now that time of let's fucking find our hobbies. Let's find the things that give us joy, do the passion projects and all of that. And I just really thought of this space as being my passion project, and hopefully a space that I get to really occupy one day. And she reminded me to make some time to do the shit that makes me feel happy. I feel sometimes I say it, and then when I get down in the dumps and I feel grumpy and I feel sad about everyday life, sometimes I forget about it. But then when someone just reminds you to, hey, do the things that you want to do, and really focus in on that and hone in on that. And I feel there's just this general energy of being in that space, because it happened again. So I've been really busy up and down this whole weekend, hence why I didn't get an opportunity to actually create an episode. But I've been up and down, all of that stuff. My mom wanted to do a photo shoot for the family, and shame, it was really cute. And I look like I'm 12 years old in these photos, but I don't know, blame it on the blame it on the costumes, blame it on whatever, I don't know. And then, so there was that part of the weekend, and then the other part of the weekend was my cousin's farewell. So my cousin is going to Germany, and I mean, she's not the first cousin to go to Germany, but she's the first girl to exit the country and actually go to Germany. So she's going there for a year and a bit, and I don't know what it was. It's kind of when people are doing shit with their life. So my other cousin, a couple of months ago, I want to say last year, she moved out of the city. And so she moved out of the city, and then now my cousin, who's a few years younger than me, I want to say she's 3 years younger than me, she is now going to live in Germany for a year. And I don't know what it is, but I think it just, when you start seeing people progressing in their lives and doing big things, especially when you feel you've been in a very stagnant space for a long time, it kind of makes you look at yourself sideways a little bit, like, bitch, why aren't we doing shit like this, you know? And I definitely like started to feel it. Like, it's not even in the sense of me being unhappy for her. Like, I'm so happy and incredibly proud of her for actually doing something that scary and going to Germany. Like, for like, it's a big deal. Like, and she's like, I don't know, in my mind, I've always just had this thing of like, that's my baby cousin. Like, she's so cute and petite and small, and I'm just like, she is going to this foreign country with a different language, and I have no doubts in my mind that she's going to thrive and she's going to do amazing shit, and she's just going to come back like so accomplished and so like, you know, like, I don't want to say like set, or like more like aware of herself and the things that she wants to achieve in life. I have no doubts about that, and she's going to meet amazing people, make incredible memories. But it's kind of, I don't know, I think just, and it happened so suddenly as well. Like, I kind of knew it was going to come, but I didn't think it would be this soon, you know? And also, like, we haven't spent a lot of time together because everyone is just so busy. So it's like, you also didn't like prepare yourself, like you didn't have those conversations with that person leading up to them leaving, and now it's just all of a sudden soon they're going to be gone, and they're not going to be around for like a year. I mean, granted, we can text each other, like, it's whatever, but you know what I mean? Anyway, with all that being said, it kind of just like, I don't know, I think it made me feel some type of way, because now I'm like basically like the middle cousin, and because like my eldest cousin now moved out the city, my youngest girl cousin, okay, she's not youngest, the youngest is like still in high school, so my younger girl cousin left, and now it's just me. And I don't know if it's just this feeling of like always being the overachiever, like when it comes to like studies and, you know, getting a job and all of that stuff. Like, I think I just felt like I became used to like doing shit like that, and then it would be celebrated. And now I feel like in some ways, like, it feels kind of weird not to be doing anything right now that's like worthy of a celebration in my life. And not to say that I want to be celebrated every single day or whatever, but it just feels like I'm like, what am I doing, bro? Like, people are literally, you know, moving away and doing shit for themselves and like putting themselves out of their comfort zone. And what am I doing? And it's not even like about the fact that people are moving to different cities. I guess it did call into question this whole thing and this whole feeling of like, should I be considering moving to a different city? Do I want to live in a different city? Am I wrong for not wanting to go to a different city? Like, I still want to travel. Like, I definitely do feel like her moving away like sparks something within me, like, bitch, you need to get your shit together so you can fucking go see the world. Like, I want to be able to see the world. I want to be able to travel, but to like relocate my whole life to a different foreign country, I don't know about that yet. I mean, maybe one day, like, if I get the urge, I will, you know? I think I've always just operated in that way. Like, if I really feel strongly about something and I want to make something happen, I will make it happen. Do I feel strongly about moving to a different city right now? No, absolutely not. But does it call into question, like, me reevaluating, I guess, my goals and where I want to be in life? Perhaps. You know, and it just got me thinking, and I had a little moment of sadness as I was driving into work today, because I'm just like, I just feel like life is just not, it feels like it's not happening, but it also feels like things are happening in the background. And like, things have been happening. The past year was full of lots of action-packed things, and I don't know, I think it's just, I was having a bit of a moment, and I was like feeling like shit, like my life is just feeling so stagnant. Like, I'm not doing anything that's like moving the needle. I'm not doing anything that's like worth celebrating right now. And low-key, it made me feel sad, and it just started getting me in my feelings about like, dude, maybe I'm not special enough. Like I think I've always envisioned this like extraordinary life for myself where I do cool, fun shit that like no one expects me to do, where I like overachieve and I accomplish this and I do this. I wanted to be, and I still want to be, an accomplished person. And I just feel like I'm not doing things that an accomplished person would do, you know, or I'm not moving in the way that an accomplished person would do. Because accomplished people be achieving shit. And I feel like, what am I achieving? And so it just sent me down like a miniature spiral. And I think that's how I got to this conversation with my friend, whereby she was like, girl, reassess your goals, set the goals for yourself. Like, and yes, of course, I do that. Like, I've got goals, but like sometimes I feel like goals can be so like vast and like far beyond, almost like big and overarching. And I've got those big overarching goals set in place, but I feel like maybe to give myself a little bit more purpose and more like structure and more control. And that's what we spoke about. And it was just about feeling like more in control of your life, so you don't feel like life is happening to you constantly. Like there's some sort of like monicum of like control that you have over your shit, you know. And that's when she showed me her list, like her weekly list, and she's like, okay, I've done something for me, I've done something for like social, I've done something like, you know, passion projects or whatever, something along those lines. And I think it just really got me thinking about like, okay, maybe I just need to look at my overarching goals, right? Because, you know, I am I don't know, I love having something to work towards. And I feel like, okay, before I get into what I'm meant to talk about, but like, I feel like past year, it kind of felt like everything was kind of up in the air, and I wasn't really like honed in on what my objectives and like I guess my strategic thrusts of this life were all about, and all of that. So as I turned 25, I kind of like reset those in place. So I know what I'm working towards in like the overall. So those are in place, and that's cool and that's great. It's like now how do we bring that down, like down the funnel into like weekly and monthly objectives? And I think that's kind of why I'm feeling a little bit stressed about not having set my September objectives, because at least the September objectives I'm just calling everything objectives, but like the September goals and intentions and all of that, at least those can be kind of like in line with like my overall goals. But it's also just like bringing that down into like a weekly like space, so I feel like I'm accomplishing something. And I think it's that as well. It's like sometimes you just need to set like a little bit of structure and like mini goals for yourself, especially when you feel like people are ticking things off of their lists and you're not. Sometimes you need to give yourself things to work towards so that you can clap for yourself at the end of the month and be like, do you see what I did? Like, I had this on my list. Like, I worked towards this passion project and I achieved this, and it was fucking amazing. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that. And I think sometimes when these kind of like things happen and these like triggers kind of like start to pop up almost, I think more like in that moment, more so than ever, that is the time whereby you need to like do a little bit of a reflection on actually what is the shit that I've done in these past couple of months that has like, you know, made me feel like, oh my God, I'm so amazing, I'm ticking things off the list, like I actually did something. Like, because sometimes we tend to forget that we actually can accomplish so much within a space of time. And it's even worse when we look at it in like context of the entire year. You might feel like, dude, the year is almost over and I feel like, what have I accomplished? And I think right now, as we go into spring, it's the perfect time to actually sit down, reflect back on the past 9 months and be like, okay, what do I feel like we've done here? And it can be small. It can be like, I've gone on more walks, I've burnt more calories, I've slept a lot more, and I wanted to sleep a lot more since last year because I wasn't getting any sleep at all. Or I've gone on more dates, or I've spoken to more people, or fucking I tried that one class that I didn't think that I would do, or like I don't know, I lost like 2 inches off my arms since January. I don't fucking know. It's all sure, I feel like I'm in like a very preachy mood today, but it's all in relation to you and your goals and what you want for yourself. And I think we mustn't shame ourselves into thinking that we need to be like, popping off at every avenue, like jet setting, going up and down, left, right, and center to feel like we've accomplished something. And I think we can really get ourselves into a dangerous trap here when we start comparing ourselves to the people around us. At the end of the day, as always, and I think as I've been trying to tell myself with every single aspect of my life at the moment and how it feels and how things are going, is you need to trust in the timing of your life. Yes, people may be moving out and you still at home and you like looking at your age and you're like, shit, like at my age, like I should be out the house. Like these people are at this age and they're out the house. Yeah, sure, maybe. But when you look at your goals and what you want for yourself, you know that this is not the right time for you to do certain things. Like, for example, for me, as much as people can be like, oh, when are you moving out? Like, when are you leaving? I can't fucking leave the house right now. If I look at how, like, my finances have been structured right now and, like, how it is, like, I will not be able to survive on the outside on my own right now. Like, the timing is completely off for me. It won't work. I won't be able to afford having a house. And my goal is when I leave my parents' house, I want to be able to afford that shit quite easily. So even if it's like a small little increment on whatever it is, I can still afford it. It has to be within my means. So I can't get like hard on myself now about like seeing my cousins flee the house, because who fucking knows what they've been doing on the back end. My cousin could have been saving for years for an apartment that she knows that she can afford with the new salary that she got or whatever it was. Like, you don't actually know what goes on the back end. People could have been preparing for this moment for the longest time, or the opportunity was right at that particular moment for them to flee the house. And so you can't like rag on yourself for not being where they are, because that's their life. That's not your life. You are destined for a different path, and there's certain lessons and there's certain things that will happen for you when it's your right time, and you can't get upset at yourself for that. You really, really can't. Like, you have to give yourself grace and know that, when it's your time, it's your time. And when it happens for you, it will be perfect for you in that moment in time. So I think I'm getting like really passionate about it and very like kind of riled up about it, because I need to hear it. I really need to hear it right now. I think I just feel like I just get so down and out with myself in terms of like feeling like I'm behind, whereas I'm not behind. You're never behind on your own timeline, And the best thing to do when you are feeling like you are behind is to go back to the goals that you've set yourself and be like, okay, what can I do that I feel like is within my control that will get me at least like one step closer towards achieving that particular goal? If your goal is to freaking open up a flower shop business, well, let's look at what have we accomplished so far in getting to that goal, right? Have we maybe looked for some locations where we want to open up said flower shop? Have I created the website for it? Like, have I, determined what kind of flowers I want to sell? Like, how would I get the message out there? Like, it doesn't have to be you open the whole flower shop in one day. It's like step by step. Like, anything in this life is a work in progress, and we just need to give ourselves grace and the humility and the patience to get to where we are going. Like, everything it doesn't have to be rush all the time. And just because you're not achieving things at a particular rate, at the same rate, as somebody else next to you, or like slightly in front of you or whatever it is, doesn't make you any less special. It doesn't mean that your story is never ever going to come to fruition because someone else is getting blessings that you also want for yourself.